He flashed it. Maybe we'll see it in game 2.
Yeah, but
I'm
anyways.
excited.
But anyways, you can see it from the bands, you know. They already have great tools on the bot lane. Early prior bot lane and early prior on mid. Maybe you can just have some troubles on the mid because it's Karma versus Orianna, but you have great jungle for the early game with the Volibear, and I think they're not in hurry. And when Afreeca Freecs is not hurry, they just most of the times they just won because of Mystic, because of Kiin. They have really great side laners and 5v5. But for KT side, it's still questionable. Like, is Rakan was that good pick on the last pick on the blue side with MF? And you are playing MF against Braum? And you are picking Ornn blind against Kiin?
Yeah. Ornn blind against Kiin, I think, is...
Yeah.
That might have been the biggest.
All those questions are still on KT, but if you play good, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So,
true, but
yeah, we'll see, you know?
Yeah, coming into this, we were definitely feeling like Afreeca is favored. To the amounts we have yet to see, I mean, we'll learn a lot more from this series, but from the draft here, it does definitely feel like Afreeca did win it, kind of just straight up here. The Ornn, I mean, I suppose it can eventually give some items over as long as it kind of survives, but then Kiin is going to be such a menace on the Kayle as he just gets essentially a free lane once he hits level 6. So we'll have to see how this one goes as game number 1 is all ready to go as we hop onto the Rift.
Yeah. I mean, the point is you cannot go side lanes against Kayle, right? Like, you are Karma or Ornn as a side laners, but against Kayle, when Kiin has Kayle, it's impossible, right? I mean, just champion-wise, it's just so difficult. So you have to force team fight in the late game anyways, but you are playing Ornn against Braum, which is impossible to engage, right?
Yeah.
And after that, they have no engage tool. I mean, they have Rakan, but you're playing against Ashe and Braum? That's already like really rough job for Rakan. Hey, go, TusiN. You have to engage because they have Braum, so I cannot engage as Ornn. So as Rakan, even though you're playing against Ashe and Braum, you must go in first. That's kind of ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
So
true.
And also their laning phase is not that great. So I think they just need to make some differences from their plays, not from their champions. You know, if they just go farm 5v5, I mean, if they just go farm 50-50 and just go for the 30 minutes mark, then I don't think KT has like great chance because of the team composition.
Yeah, would have to agree. So Afreeca will get the advantage from the draft, as so excellently laid out by you there, Wadid, and we are going to have to see if they do actually make any of those plays. Another thing you mentioned is the priority in the lanes. They kind of are missing a lot of that, so it's hard to, you know, use some winning lanes to actually make the plays that are necessary to win in this, you know, draft situation. As yes, TusiN is a great Rakan player. We do know this. He's played 36 games of Rakan. It might even be his most played. I mean, he's played an insane amount. And
the main prior is already gone.
Yeah.
Heal is gone as well. I mean, it's just power of Ashe, you know. This is the reason why Ashe is just picking most of the regions, and all the players are talking about Ashe being broken. So it's already happening.
Yeah, there were so many bans on the AD carries, and there were a lot of like picks that were still available that were very juicy and made you think, oh, I would love to have that on my team. You know, the Karma, the Set. But you wouldn't consider really first picking Ashe. But then the second they pick the Karma, Ashe, Volibear for immediate priority in multiple lanes, just right off the bat in the draft is like insane.
Yeah.
It's very hard to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I think the draft plan was just so great by Afreeca Freecs. But again, draft matters, but play matters much more than drafts, right? So, and both junglers, they always do something a lot in the early game, it seems like. Because of the kill path direction at 15 minutes, and ward places, and first blood path direction as well.
Yeah, a lot of ward clearing. You can see that kill participation at 15 is 80% is 4th, which is pretty insane. It definitely highlights the amount that junglers, you know, the difference that they make, especially in the early stages of the game. The first 15 minutes of the game, they're going to be around the majority of the kills. So it's definitely a big highlight there, as a bunch of hawk shots are coming out here trying to spy where the enemy jungler is. They don't want to just allow bonO to do whatever he wants on this map. Spirit just went for another full clear up towards the top side, so we'll see as that dragon is coming up here in about 30 seconds if either side wants to put some pressure on that.
Yeah, but as I already predicted, I think these games can be really long because they always want to play around their AD carries. So just don't get surprised, even though there is no kills until like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just normal when you watch KT and Afreeca Freecs' game. And especially it's when it's really important game, which is like playoff decider. I think it's actually playoff decider. So I think both teams know that this is really important for both sides. So
what's going on here? Mystic is desperately trying to not use his summoners, and he's missed his autos like 3 or 4 times. He's gonna flash in and give away first blood to KT. That was a very confusing series of events there, as Mystic, I think he kind of dropped the ball on that one.
I think that was unnecessary try and trade back, especially when your jungler was not there first. And yeah, I mean, that was huge, by the way. And MF is already losing CS, I mean, winning CS against Ashe. And I already talked about this pick. The reason why Ashe is broken or like being good in this kind of split is because of early laning phase, right? But they just gave up everything from this.
Yeah, 2 missed autos. He doesn't flash the knockup.
And this is one again. And yeah. I mean, nothing to say about it. Because his mana was also really low.
Yeah.
He was for like almost 1 minute as Ashe. So that was really interesting moment on the bot lane.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely very interesting. And yeah, I don't know. That was confusing. We'll have to see if he can try to shake that off afterwards, as we see that Trundle here, bonO, is back down towards the bottom side. He's going to be spotted doing this dragon. And pings are going down with the lane pushing away. Aiming, I think, is trying to hit level 6. I'm not sure if he'll be able to get it, though, on time.
Yeah.
Because now they're being zoned out of the dragon here. And it looks like KT are just going to easily pick this one up. Volibear not going to get in position, as they didn't really have priority. And that one will go the way of KT.
Yep. And KT having prior against Ashe bot lane is already great news. It's not in the like mid game, late game that you're playing. It's just early game, and just Ashe being useless in the early game is like, so it means that this pick was useless, right? So I think KT is on a good way right now, and Afreeca Freecs right now is most of the game plans are kind of destroyed right now, so maybe they're just waiting for Kiin to just pop off.
Yeah.
Already.
Just sit back, relax, wait for level 16, and I hope that nothing else goes too wrong. I mean, it's just the first blood, and the one Mountain Drake, so it's not the end of the world, of course, but it's definitely still a good look for KT, who are looking to roll it into pressure up towards the Rift Heralds.
I mean, the reason why I'm talking like it's end of the world for Afreeca Freecs is, I mean, Ashe losing first Drake is just so critical. I mean, I think that Ashe pick is for the first Drake and second Drake, you know? So...
Yeah, and not only that, but the Rift Herald is going to go the way of KT2, as there was kind of a late rotation up from Afreeca from their bottom lane. You could see that Mystic and Ben were able to push the lane and then eventually make their way up, but it was a little bit late. Spirit is going to use some of that rotation to get in there and take the blue away. Mystic not going to miss much.
I mean, blue buff doesn't matter that much. They already got Herald, and yeah, I mean, I think Smeb, he's gonna have hard time, but they just need to end this game before level 16, that's all.
Oh man. Here we go, Spirit is behind them, and that's gonna be the knockup. You see the ultimate comes in, that will secure the kill, but now Spirit in a rough spot as aiming is gonna rotate up, and they're just gonna trade it 1-for-1, the kill going the way of MF, but in the bottom side, at the same time, Mystic and Ben getting to work onto these turret plays.
Better trade for KT because they have header. They're going to use it on the top lane, most likely. So probably they're going to have better trade as well. So they just needed to make one lane empty, and it was top lane that KT decided. And their ball lane is already proactive. So much more. Like making so much more of like situations on the map. And they got the advantage and they're using it. And they got the first tower. First turret at 10 minutes 40.
Yeah. They are definitely one step ahead of Afreeca, it seems, in this game. It's even going to get a second charge off here. Now, Kiin's not really going to be able to freeze this wave as it is crashing into the turret. And you can see that Mystic also, he went back. During all this time, he kind of floundered around, maybe going mid, and then eventually he just went bot again. So a little bit confusing there.
Maybe not. Maybe he's not using Volibear good enough, I guess. And also for the bonO, I mean, his first blood participation is just first place, right? Mm-hmm. So he's just keeping that stat for himself. So it's already really great news for them, and I really like to see him playing really aggressive and smart at the same time. He knows where he needs to be, and this time around, it's bot lane that he really needs to be on.
Yeah, for now, I mean, they're just going to try to put on as much pressure down on the bottom side until this Infernal Drake is going to spawn. Spirit is being leashed right now by the Karma. You can see Kiin is trying his very hardest to carry this one and get as far ahead as possible. He's already in a pretty good spot with that first kill and a nice amount of damage to the turret. Should pick up at least 2 plates in this laning phase.
Yeah, but I think it's still fine for Afreeca Freecs as well because of their team comp. And I think if they use their ultimates in a good way, then still, like, even though they are a little bit behind, the item difference is not that huge, so they can for sure win the team fight. And all that matter is this second Drake. If KT gets this Drake as well, then I think they can snowball it pretty easy in this kind of situation.
Mm-hmm. Notice that Smeb isn't using his TP to get to the top side. He's saving it just in case, I suppose, for this dragon fight, but you can see that Afreeca just give it away. They are not going to fight over that one.
They already decided. Just wait for Kiin's level 16.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's too early, but yeah, I guess they are not, they really don't want to bleed more at this point.
Spirit is trying to run away here. He's going to get knocked up, and that is one dead bear. Just tries to get a ward down in the river, get any kind of vision, and immediately he just gets popped there as Rakan is just able to roam around mid, around bot, and do whatever he wants because they're winning so hard.
This is not the Volibear I was talking about.
Yeah.
And I feel so bad right now because I already said that Volibear wins Trundle in the early game, but he didn't use his early game power against Trundle. He didn't invade enemy jungle, or he didn't use his like ball lane advantage for the jungle pressure. So I feel like bonO is just playing on Spirit's mind right now because like he was just sitting on the Yeah, that was a simple combo, and TusiN already knew that he can just catch the kill with using ultimate. So he was calling that he's gonna use ultimate. There was great communication by TusiN, the Korean Hilly-song.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to call him as Korean Hilly-song because when he's playing good, he's just smuffing.
They're trying to take down Korean Hilly-song here. And TusiN is a little bit low, but he's going to get healed up by a zone heal. Aiming's got the cleanse. And it's actually 5 members of KT that were rotating up to that place to try to get some vision around this Shirley and take down this objective. And now we have a little bit of K-round. There's 5 members of both teams right around the mid lane.
Kiin is level 11, so maybe they feel a little bit stronger. But yeah, KT still, how they can engage against Braum? That is my question. So maybe bonO really needs to work on his pillar.
That seems like what he's trying to do. You see him up in the front. And he's going to get dived on here by Spirit. bonO taking a lot of damage. The subjugate has to be used, and just like that, they bait out a very important ultimate. And so Afreeca will take the small win, take down the second Rift Herald, and try to use that to gain an advantage in this game. But take a look at this. They're going to try to zone him out of mid lane in the meantime. Doesn't seem to work too well, as bonO is going to have to flash away, standing on the ball on very low health.
This is the team comp that I was talking about. This is the differences of team composition, right? Even though KT has great early leads, they cannot pull the trigger because of the Braum shields and Orianna's ultimate and Ashe's arrow. Like, everything makes it so hard. And yeah, Afreeca Freecs, even though they kind of fall off in the early game, they're not shaking. They're not like being mad like Southern Prince and just fall.
Yeah.
They're just so calm and collected, and on top of that, Kiin is just farming like a monster. It's already like almost 50 CS difference on the top lane. So I think they are feeling kind of comfortable, even though they're losing in drakes and kills.
Yeah, it is pretty insane what he has been able to do. Smeb, as he's kind of made it obvious that he's not, you know, really going to challenge Kiin up there. The play to get the gank onto Kiin, which actually ended up killing Spirit and opening up the lane for the Rift Herald, was the one play where he was going to make a, you know, an engagement happen really without the Braum. But after that, he's just kind of sat back, farmed up what little he could, and he will just be looking for these engages. But as you mentioned before, it will be difficult for the Ornn to do it himself. Will have to be a team effort as Kiin teleports from bottom lane to mid lane turret.
Yeah, they just found the answer. Just 5v5.
Okay, here we go. TusiN is going to catch Braum, and he dies.
Yeah.
And now Ornn is like, I can help now. He gets a lot of damage down onto Ben, but that's a big ultimate onto bonO, who does not have his flash, and he will be burned down and taken down in the end. That's 2 kills seemingly for free, given over to Afreeca.
Yep.
as the engages are just so difficult for KT to pull off.
Yeah, I told you. Like Smeb is like, nah, I'm playing Ornn against Braum, and yeah, TusiN just go in. And it's like, I'm playing against Braum and Ashe, and okay, I'm just going in, and he just died. And that's the dilemma for KT because of the team comp difference. And that was just great kite by Afreeca Freecs as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's it seems like Afreeca knew this coming in from draft, and they drafted it very intelligently. And into the game, they were like, okay, we know why we pick these picks and why they're good against what you have. And then they go into the game with that mindset, and they just play that way. And that's really important for getting your entire team on the same page and winning these kinds of team fights.
Yeah, even though you kind of, I mean, you could play better in the early game, but it doesn't matter. Because of the team comp, it fills up. Even though you had bad laning phase, because of the ban picks, better ban picks, the game, it makes the game way easier to play.
Absolutely. This team fight was well played here by Afreeca. That was a really on-point ultimate, by the way, from Fly. He was able to track down exactly where bonO was. He also kept in mind that bonO was the guy without flash, and he was able to ult him down and have the follow-up come in from the rest of his teammates. So Afreeca, just like that, they get a couple of kills. They get the first Ocean Drake, one of probably many in this game.
Oh, yeah?
That will be coming in. I don't think we're done with this game by any means. We're probably like halfway through the way that this one is going, although Kiin is already level 14.
Wait.
All the other solo laners are 12.
It's 20 minutes, by the way.
Yeah.
And he's level 14. I mean, obviously, bonO, he didn't gank top lane that much. He was ganking bot lane most of the times, and that's why KT got the lead. But he was forgetting about it. Oh, wait. Wait a second. Kiin was playing Kayle, and he was farming for free. And this is what happens if you do not gank Kiin earlier when he's playing for late game champion.
Yeah. And if it were like a Felios or, I don't know, Jinx or something like that, like something that can hyper carry late game, maybe I could see it. That way it's like, okay, you've got this hyper carry in the bottom lane versus the hyper carry in the top lane. But it's MF. Doesn't have that much range, as now aiming has to flash away. And everybody on the side of KT are just running away. They're just getting caught here for free as a double kill goes to Kiin on Kayle. And now things are really going south for KT.
Yeah, I think that was the signal for the game over on the KT side, because, I mean, they had the reason. The reason why they just went into the enemy jungle was Fly was on the top side. I mean, yes, he has TP, but it's Orianna just showing on the top lane. So that's probably why the reason why KT decide to just go in and get some vision control. But I don't think aiming and TusiN really needs to just blindly going into the brush, because it's bonus job that who really need to face check, right?
Yeah. This is just really confusing.
Yeah. But at the same time, I just want to shout out to Kiin again, because after farming, you know, there is so many top laners that who really wants to just keep farming even though you had enough farms, right? And not just grouping and just going side lanes 24/7. But after like 15 minutes, he was like, yeah, I'm done with farming. I'm just gonna group on mid and just let's look for the fight and look for the visions. And he's doing it. Like, he's doing all the jobs for the Afreeca. Even though they had some hiccup timings on the bot lanes and junglers, doesn't matter, you have Kiin on the top lane. And this is the reason why he got 2 POGs on the last game.
It's true. I mean, I remember he teleported from bot lane into mid after pushing one wave, and I was like, huh, that's weird. I don't see that very often. And you're right. I mean, top laners don't generally just do that unless you're on something like an Ornn or, you know, something that's not really going to have any side lane pressure that has to group, which Smeb also did because he didn't really have a choice. But Kiin got little advantages pushing the side waves, and then he always grouped. And we are seeing the effects of that now. Afreeca about 6,000 gold ahead with the XP bar. It's counting down, guys. Oh no!
No way! No way! It's 23 and 40 seconds and he's almost level 16. Is it just normal League of Legends that I'm playing, or is Keys of Legends?
Keens of Legends?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to
Legends of Kiin?
Legends of Kiin, yeah.
League of Kiin?
League of Kiin, yeah.
Yeah. He didn't have to go for the dragon. He's just going to come in here and hit 16 up on the top side. And I don't know. Feels kind of like lights out once that does happen. We've seen the way that the team fights were going when Afreeca was kind of even and even behind after a little bit after the early game. But now that Kiin is level 16 and they're this far ahead, I cannot see them losing a team fight.
No. There's no way. Maybe if our Korean Hilly-sang lands 5-man ultimates.
True.
Maybe we can see that, but...
You said it, guys.
But I don't see that. Like, especially when you're playing against, like, Braum, you cannot engage on Braum. You cannot engage on Ashe. You cannot engage on a Volibear. Also, maybe, I mean, yeah, it's just so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm also known as Rakan player, right?
Uh-huh.
And if I'm Rakan, I was like, I might just call to Ornn, just pull the trigger, because there's no way I can let engage well.
Well, they can try to one-shot Kiin. That's one way to do it, as this is not a good fight for Afreeca. They've got to run. Thankfully, they do have a lot of tools to do exactly that. And there's no objective right now. There's, you know, Baron in 2.5 minutes, Ocean Drake in 3.5 minutes. So, Afreeca need to be careful. They're just going to turn here and kill bonO. Okay.
Fly is just playing on them.
Yeah. TusiN feels forced to go in there, as Spirit was actually going 1v1 versus aiming, and now he's going to get gunbladed, but no ultimate here for Kiin. Doesn't seem to matter. Nice knockup by Smeb, but it might not be enough, although Spirit is going to be burst down. But he was just the sacrificial lamb for Kiin to follow up and do about 6,000 damage is what it felt like in about 3 seconds. But either way, they do take down that turret after a nice little skirmish.
Yep, and I just feel like they just lost in ban picks, you know?
Yeah, we see it a lot here.
The more I think about this team composition, there's nothing special. Like, again, you're playing MF and Ornn, and also Fly, man. Maybe his laning phase was not that great because he was getting pushed in by Kuro like 24/7, but after the laning phase, his ultimate is just hitting all the time right. Yeah. So, yeah, it's really great to see them playing as a team, and it's making it, and it's showing off.
You can see that Spirit was the sacrificial lamb, went in there, got the stun down, set up the kill for Kiin, who, I mean, he doesn't really need more kills at this point, but he'll take them, that's for sure. He'll be totally fine and happy to do that. You can see that Afreeca are going to be setting up now for the Baron after that little play. They've got great turn with Ashe, Braum, Orianna, Volibear, lots of tools in their kits to just go ahead and try to go for the Baron and then turn on them.
Yeah, and Kiin being almost 100% kill participation is like the dream of the top laner. He farms most, he kills most, and he's like leading the game as well. He's always pushing the mid and grouping mid after enough farming. And yes, still KT, they just need one good engage.
Okay, that's going to be blocks here, and a nice block by the Ornn. That is a great ultimate actually by aiming to just put them back in that little corridor they were in. So now KT do have the health advantage. They're trying to desperately push mid here and take down a turret with this little advantage.
I think they can look for the team fight, Afreeca Freecs.
Yeah, it's big shields from the Karma, but if they can ever get Ashe and Orianna and, of course, Kayle in position to do damage, they're just going to light them up. Smeb, you got to be careful, buddy. You're all alone. You don't necessarily want to do that even if you do get the knockup.
And yeah, there's no ultimate. I mean, there's no engage tool if there is no Ornn and Rakan. And KT, they tried to engage on Afreeca side because of the positioning. In the last team fight, KT's team positioning was better, slightly better than Afreeca side, but bad. He just blocked all the engages perfectly. With shield, he just denied Ornn ulti, and with his ultimate, he blocked Rakan's dash. So I mean, they could win just 5-0 KT, but because of the champion, they couldn't. And that is the third Ocean Drake for Afreeca Freecs.
Yeah. They're beginning to stack just by themselves. Not to mention what's going to happen when Ocean Soul does get picked up here by Afreeca, as it's looking pretty likely that will happen.
Yeah, I mean, just look at Bad here. He's gonna block Ornn ulti first and using ultimate to block Rakan dash. Like,
yeah,
perfect.
Mystic didn't even really have to flash. He had to flash eventually against the bullet time.
Maybe.
But he should have believed in his support, Ben, to do the heavy lifting as he did in that fight. Obviously, Fly just took a massive bonk on the head by Aiming, who does have a healthy share of items himself.
Yeah. I guess they were just waiting for Aiming to just 1v9 this game, and Kuro is just ready to shield him, and he's just going in front. And I think Afreeca Freecs is just waiting a little bit more, because there's no objectives other than Nashor. They already got the Drake, and I think they're just waiting for Kiin's Deathlands, right? There's no reason to fight here, just randomly. They just need to wait for Kiin to just pop off.
Yeah, Kiin's gonna come over here and steal some of the farm from Mystic and Fly. He says, well, Death Stance is the most important item right now. You can see that Fly is working on a Death Cap. You can see that Mystic is also working on his own Death Stance. So I suppose that, well, Mystic is going to get caught here. He doesn't have flash, but they're able to turn it around. A big ultimate from the Orianna, but a huge bullet time on the follow-up is going to make Afreeca disengage. Flashing in now is Kiin. He's just going for it. As the ultimate comes down, he says, you don't have Jack. You don't have flash. I'm just going to get right on top of you and take down your life. And he does it just like that. Kiin says, I am in total control of this game alone.
He's gonna just TP back with completed item. He already got 4 items, while Ornn is stuck on 2 items. And this is the Kiin. Like, you just need to break him or just trash him in the laning phase with jungler. But if you didn't care about him, this happens.
Yeah. And it looks like this might just be the end of the game. Some desperate defense here coming in from PT. It's a big shield, but the Trundle does 0 against the scale Ashe and Orianna right now. They're going to go for it. They're just targeting down the Nexus. They want to make sure that they can end this game. GG in about 32 minutes.